Hello guys, my name is Rushford and welcome to today's Bukkit plugin. So last time what we did is we did muting players. Um, it was exactly the same as basically freeze and stuff. We're gonna do something a little bit more complicated today. It's not that much complicated, but it is a little bit. So to start off with, we're gonna need another array list because today, guess what we're doing? We're doing God mode because it's one of those commands that you always want because you want to be able to make sure you're not able to be hurt. And it's just one of those things. So we're getting a new array list because it's another toggle and we need to check who is actually God mode. So let's say God players is the name of our array list. String. And again, we don't clear it because what if they want to be what if they want to keep their thing? Yeah, I can't bother to explain that. I don't know why. Okay, so last time we did muting and we actually added this part here to check whether they could actually run the command. We're gonna do that again today. So we're gonna do if command label dot equals ignore case, and I'm gonna say God. Now today we're gonna actually check whether we're gonna actually be able to let the player do /God himself, and they'll be able to do it God another player, and they'll be able to, and in the console we'll be able to God another player, but they won't be able to do God themselves. So to start off with, we're gonna check that the sender actually has the permission to say youtube.tutorial.god. Make sure they have actually got that. And otherwise, what we're going to do is do sender.send message chat color.red, and we're gonna add you cannot run. You don't have permissions for this command. We're gonna leave that. So next up, we need to. So in the last one, we actually checked whether there are more than one argument. Now, because the player can do /God, just /God, instead of having to do /God their username, they'll be able to do just /God. So we need to check whether there are 0 arguments, but then we need to check whether what if there are 0 arguments and it's a console. Now, the way we can check that is we can do and if the arguments.length is equal to 0 and the sender is instance of a player. And basically that's saying, right, we're saying if there aren't any arguments and the sender is an instance of the player, what we're going to do is we're going to do what we did last time. So player P is equal to Bukkit is equal to sender. Now, we don't have to get the actual player this time because of the fact that we already know it's the sender that's saying /God, and we already know that, and we don't need to check whether that player is online because obviously they're already online because they're the one running the command. So next we just do the bit where we say if God players. Again, it's a toggle. So if God contains getting the player. Oh wait, I put the wrong thing there. If God players contains it, then we can do God players dot remove it. We're going to remove that player from it, and we're going to send them a message saying that's not how I want to send message in a aqua. That's not how you spell aqua, is it? Aqua saying you are no longer in God mode. And that's basically all we got to do for that. Now we didn't need to do exactly the same as what we did last time, so if they're not a part of it, we need to add them and tell them they are now in God mode. So add p.getName and then p.sendMessage again in aqua. saying you are now in God mode, and just add a exclamation mark on the end there. And that's basically the code we need to do if there are no arguments and it's a player. So if the player is just doing /God. Next, we need to check whether there are any arguments. So if arguments dot is equal to 0, so we're saying otherwise, if the argument length is equal to 0, and it's not instance of a player, we don't need to add instance of a player because we're already checking whether there are instance of a player here. We're just going to send them a message saying usage. Yeah, we're going to do the usage measures. So usage /God and then the player. So next, we can't add another else to that. So we're going to have to check again whether the argument length is bigger. Yeah, bigger than 0. And then we're going to have our switch case. So args.length. And then our... Ooh. I keep doing that, don't I? And then our case. And then basically we say player p is equal to bucket dot get player args 0, and then we say if p is equal to null, if the player's not online, then do send message in red. That player is not online. Oops. And that's all we need to do if the player is not online. And then we say otherwise, and then basically what we can do here is just copy and paste this code again. I could just type this all out again, but it's just a lot easier if we just copy and paste it because it's exactly the same code. And that is all we have to do for the command. Boom. Next we need to have an event, and unfortunately in Bukkit there isn't a player damage event. There's an entity damage event though, and player is an entity. So what we can do is we're going to have an event handler and public void on player damage event. Even I'm calling that because then I understand what it's actually doing instead of having an entity damage event and not knowing what it does. So entity damage event automatically import it, and then we need to so first of all we need to check whether the entity is an instance of a player. So when an entity gets damaged, it fires this event, and first of all we need to check whether the entity is a player, and if it is, we can continue. And what I like to do for this is say if player, we're going to make a new player variable, so is equal to we need to cast it to a player, and then we need to put e.get entity. Okay, and now we need to check. Whether God players contains that player. So God players dot contains e.get p dot get name. And if it does, then we say e.set cancelled true. Now we don't need to send them a message because we don't want to say, hey, you're being damaged, you're in God mode. No, and that's not what we want to do. And that's all we got to do. So that's all we have to do for the actual code itself. We need to now pop into our plugger.yml. As you can see, this is all my commands. And I just need to type in God and description. Make players God mode. Just save that. Go back over here. Refresh, export, jar file, finish, yes. Okay, and guys, I'm back once I've got the server running and Minecraft running. Okay, so guys, I'm back. I'm on the server now. For this test, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna fly up all the way to the stars. And then I'm gonna God myself, make sure I'm in God mode. I'm now in God mode, as you can see. And now if I just do game mode, oops, 0, and I fall, I shouldn't get damaged because we've done that. Now if I do slash God again, and I fly myself all the way back up. So now as you can see, it says no longer in God mode, and I fly all the way back up. And then God mode myself 0, and see, I died. And basically that's it. I can do slash God myself, do slash God again, and in the console, I can do God, Rushmead, and God, Rushmead again, and then I'm going to go, if I just do God, usage God, and for God, banana, again the player's not online. And that's it guys, thank you for watching today's tutorial. Tomorrow, yeah it'll be tomorrow, we'll have flying and something else. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!